Welcome back. Now, Johannesburg customers will be without water for the next 58 hours. Rand Water is undertaking major maintenance that focuses on refurbishment and the upgrading of its infrastructure to ensure future sustainability. Now, during the shutdown, all direct feeds from Rand Water will be affected, and it will impact the Roodepoort, Central and Soweto areas. Other municipalities outside Johannesburg will experience intermittent water supply during the implementation of the projects. So to tell us more about the water outages, we joined now via telephone by Rand Water spokesperson Makenosi Maroo. Ms. Maroo, thanks for your time. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Sakina, and thank you very much.
So let's just start at the beginning. You know, Rand Water, they've put out a statement. They will implement planned maintenance to tie in 2 valves, we are told, between the A19 and the B14 pipelines. So just explain that to us in a little more detail and why this is necessary.
All right. Sakina, what we're doing, we're really refurbishing and changing the pipelines that are connecting, as we're indicating. Our pipelines, they have alphabet and numbers. So we're connecting A19 to B14. So we're putting in new pipes and then we're putting them together. But over and above that, we are also doing other works. So we are replacing a valve at the Vereeniging water treatment plant. We are also replacing a valve at Spokesperson water treatment plant. And we're also doing electrical work at the Roodepoort pumping station. So this is normal maintenance that is part of our maintenance strategy as Rand Water.
So as it stands right now, it is said that it's going to be 58 hours without water to some areas in Johannesburg. Ms. Maroo, if you can just confirm that, because initially it was meant to be a 44-hour shutdown.
Yes, it is 58 hours. Sakina, we have to factor in that it takes time for us, once we have completed the maintenance work, to fill in the reservoir. So we're giving ourselves ample time, obviously, in terms of project management. You know that you have to factor for each and everything, should anything go wrong. So we have factored all those elements, and we're also giving ourselves time to fill up our reservoirs.
So during the shutdown, Ms. Maroo, the statement reads that all direct feeds from Rand Water will be affected. So let's look at the areas that will be most affected. Roodepoort Central, we are told, and the Soweto areas. So if you would just give us a brief reminder on some of the other areas and, of course, you know, where people should not be too concerned that the water outages will last beyond that time.
All right. Sakina, the following areas, we're talking about Marydale, we're talking about Waterfall, Roodepoort, Forest Hill, Rustenburg, because it falls under Rand Water in terms of our reservoirs, Krugersdorp, Roodepoort. So those are the areas that will be affected. And we have advised, and we're still advising residents, should they have problems, please contact your municipality. I know that they do have contingency plans. Should people run out of water, there will be water tankers that will be dispersed.
Ms. Maroo, you mentioned the Rustenburg local municipality, and that is quite a ways from Johannesburg, for example, but of course also supplied by Rand Water. So are they also going to be affected for 58 hours, or is this a different dispensation for them?
It will not be full 58 hours. Remember, we're starting only at 1900 hours today. So people will still have water today and tomorrow, depending with how they're using water. Because remember, the more people stockpile water, fill up their buckets and their bathtubs, that means the reservoirs are going to run dry. Hence the call, do not panic, please use water sparingly, so that each and every person can have a share. But with regards to Rustenburg, we're talking about the south part of Rustenburg, people will have water, but the municipality have made contingency plans.
So speaking of contingency plans, Ms. Maroo, one would imagine that there will be provision made. How exactly is this going to be rolled out?
All right. That portion would be I think the municipality will be best placed to talk about that one. Remember, as Rand Water, we are a bulk water supply. We supply municipalities with bulk water.
So we will obviously then have to get those answers from them. But just in broad strokes, as far as your interaction with the municipalities go, do you know whether there will be roaming water tankers? And I do understand that you may not have the specific details, but, just as I say, as a broad overview, what were your discussions in this regard?
Right. As I indicated through our discussions, we have a technical meetings that we have with municipalities. We also write them, obviously, emails. But most importantly, we have a communication protocol and a customer charter. So in these documents, there's an agreement that should we have a planned maintenance, municipalities are expected to come up with plans. I know that as and when there is a need, there will be tankers that will be dispensed. That means residents have to communicate with municipalities.
Ms. Maroo, so we understand the areas that will be affected this time around, but as far as ongoing maintenance goes with regard to water infrastructure, are we likely to see similar maintenance works in the near future?
Yes, definitely. We are going to see more projects. Remember, this is part of Rainwater's maintenance strategy. So we are being proactive in terms of refurbishing and upgrading our infrastructure. So in future, we will see more of these projects. They will differ from project to project. But the main thing is to really upgrade our infrastructure to ensure that we are able to supply water.
And what about leaks? We see in some municipalities where leaks are a particular problem. The Rand water supply area, is there a particular problem regarding leaks in the water system?
Yes, there is a problem not from rainwater side. You see, even when you drive around, whether it's Johannesburg or city of Tshwane, you see there's water really leaking all over the streets. So we have been having those discussions with municipalities that we call non-revenue water, because remember, nobody's paying for that water. So in other areas, it's even over 40% of non-revenue water. So it's water that no one is paying for, but it is coming out of rainwater. So from rainwater side, we have supplied water. Where it ends up, municipalities need to ensure that there are no leaks. Water goes where it's supposed to go.
Which is, of course, very concerning, Ms. Maroo, given that South Africa is a water-scarce country.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Also, it is concerning when you look at, there are municipalities that are still owing rainwater. Rainwater has supplied water. Whether water has reached the residents is a different case.
And again, when you have these leaks, it causes damage to infrastructure, be it roads or your own infrastructure with regard to water provision.
No, absolutely no. You are correct, Shakina. But also, we are also witnessing vandalism. Now of late, we are witnessing vandalism to our infrastructure, not just rainwater's infrastructure, but infrastructure that belongs to municipality. We also need to really caution and really advise people to contact law enforcement when they see vandalism happening in their areas.
Ms. Maroo, how much is this particular project going to cost?
Sakina, for me, it's very difficult to give you a cost just for this project. Remember, we have costed a budget for the next 5 years. So it has to be broken down into different pieces. So for this one, it's only 58 hours. There is a particular cost. So for the next one, so we normally budget for the next 5 years for maintenance.
And I ask that because I'm thinking about your budget, given that you are, like Eskom, for example, having some difficulty in recuperating some of your monies from the municipalities.
No, you're correct. About 5 municipalities are owing rainwater over 4 billion. So we are still in negotiation. We're really trying to say to them, please come to the party. You have signed a bulk water purchase agreement with Rainwater. Please honor the agreement. So there are intergovernmental relations negotiations that are still happening.
And which are those 5 municipalities, the worst offenders?
All right. We're talking about Mfuleni local municipality, Rand West, Leratong, Ngwati, and Governbeg municipality. So those are the municipalities that are still owing rainwater.
And of course, I would imagine it's quite a difficult balancing act because water is an inalienable human right. So are you able to switch off or say we're not going to supply at any point?
No, we really can't do that, but we are really negotiating, and like you're saying, we understand that water is a human right, it's a necessity. So we are really negotiating, really trying to see that we cannot come up with a mutually beneficial solution to the challenge that we are facing as rainwater and that municipalities are facing.
So, Ms. Makenosi, and one appreciates the segregation between what is the responsibility of Rand Water as a bulk water supplier and what the municipalities need to do. But when it comes to the quality of water, this has also become quite, a big talking point for many South Africans because the water quality has deteriorated significantly over the past few years. So as far as Rand Water is concerned, what is your responsibility in that regard?
All right. From Rand Water side, remember from the catchment, we purify water, then we supply our municipal customers. In terms of purifying water, as rainwater, we are comfortable. Our water, they do meet the national standard appropriation, so we are comfortable. We do test our water every 2 hours, so we're really comfortable that we do supply high quality drinking water.
So, on a point of clarity, Ms. Maroo, are you saying, therefore, that as Rand Water, you are satisfied with the quality of water that you supply in bulk to the municipalities, and it is through their infrastructure that the water may become contaminated?
You know what, Sakina, without really blaming anyone, I'll just have to speak for rainwater. We are comfortable with the water that we supply. It's high quality drinking water. As I'm saying, it does meet the SANS 24 standards. So we're very comfortable with the water that we supply. We purify and we test.
Well, Ms. Maroo, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for bringing us those details. Ms. Makenosi Maroo, as a water spokesperson, speaking about the 58-hour water outage in areas of Johannesburg, as well as the Mogale City and Rustenburg local municipalities. Also, Rand West municipality will be affected by this. So it was previously reported that this would be a 44-hour outage. It is now a 58-hour outage just to allow for some room in case more time is needed by the water authorities. So feel free to let us know your thoughts on this as well. And please make sure that you actually have some water stored in whatever containers you may have. And we will try to get the municipalities on to also give us further details of where water can be accessed. With that, at 7 o'clock, Leanne standing by with your latest.